it's Tuesday. That means that Modern Warfare once again updated for the weekly refresh, and along with that came a simple standard playlist update. The question was kind of up in the air on if we'd see a title update, something you'd actually have to download, but that wasn't actually the case. Instead, we just saw that simple refresh that would restart your game and then change the game accordingly. As always though, I want to break down everything that actually changed here with today's update so that you can jump in and know exactly everything that's new and what to expect. So that's it. As we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Of the update, what part are you liking the most, or is there anything you maybe wish would have came out of this update that didn't necessarily? As well, if you are new to the channel and perhaps part of that nearly 83% of viewers who are not subscribed, do be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare and Warzone content on a daily basis. But said, let's jump into it. Now, in terms of grand changes, there really wasn't a whole ton of new content per se. No new map or anything like that. We'll talk about the prospect and when you can expect that stuff here later in the video, but as for today, on the MP and Warzone side, we saw some playlist changes. For MP, we saw the introduction of Cranked again, we saw that Cabin Fever made a return, and also we ended up seeing that the Gunfight 3v3 tournament is still going on. So for Cabin Fever, it is, of course, once again, the reintroduction of that playlist that sees you in some 6v6 action on various different close quarters maps. So maps like Rust, Shipment, Shoot House, Condor Hideout, and Hackney Yard are all in this playlist on a various number of different game modes. So hopefully you can take advantage of some faster and higher intensity action here within these playlists. It's not exactly maybe the best for, say, camos and all, like a Shipment 24/7 or even just a Flotation Oxidation, but it's something decent that, of course, puts all those maybe fan favorites all into one playlist so that you can just have that intensity be way higher. Now, as for Cranked, this is one that I'm excited here for. When I play MP, I definitely don't want to play around with some of the campy engagements that I sometimes encounter, though, of course, bewildering to me, somehow Cranked will still find its way to give you campers, but overall, the majority of the time you should find players moving around and all that, but it's available there. You have 30 seconds once you get a kill to find another and chain those together. Otherwise, you go kaboom and you blow up, ending your streak and restarting your life over. So that's an awesome addition. May bring me back for some MP this week, just because I'm a big fan of it. And then also, the Gunfight Trios tournament, again, is continuing here for the next week. As for if it goes on into the future after that, we don't necessarily know, but it is something that you can pit yourself up against 15 other teams and hopefully net yourself that Gremlin variant. But those are the things on offer in MP. On the Warzone side of things, though, really not all that much has changed. There's one change here with us where we now have Plunder Duos, which is what we had beforehand. It was mentioned in the blog post that it was supposed to be Plunder Trios, but whether or not that changes later on in the evening or is something that just doesn't happen just yet, we're not exactly sure. But the playlist for Warzone right now are solos, trios, and quads, as well as Plunder Duos. Curiously enough, though, we still don't have duos for the regular BR, which is something maybe we see in the mid-season update, and again, we'll come back to that in just a little bit. But talking about some other things here, really the only other stuff we can end up seeing visually and on a UI front is the updates of the store. Now, we saw 2 new featured bundles added in today, and I believe 1 blueprint. I think that I've seen enough people here with this new blueprint to accurately say that this may have actually been something added for all players. But we saw the Ronin bundle, the Fool's Gold 2 bundle, and also the Octopus Garden weapon blueprint bundle. Now, for the Ronin bundle, we end up seeing for 2,400 COD points, you have the Lone Dragon Ronin skin, the Soulful Wanderer Assault Rifle, which is the M4, the Peace and Tranquility handgun, which is the X16, the No Masters melee, which is actually the first non-just standard knife melee weapon variant that we have, the Don't Fear Death Ronin quip, the Slice and Dice finishing move, the Blood and Thunder emblem, the Through the Mist calling card, the Deep Wound sticker, and the Rally Cry spray. Now, I'm not normally one that goes in really cares for the paid operators here at this, but 1, Ronin's a badass. 2, to have a hatchet as a melee weapon instead of just your standard knife is pretty cool. Now, is that secondary part really the key factor? Likely not, because I don't use the melees enough, but it's there for you guys if you're interested. The Fool's Gold 2 is pretty cool, I think. For 1,300 COD points, you can get the Deep Pockets Assault Rifle of the Odin, the Bankroll Origin 12, a Fool's Errand calling card, the Royal Chamber emblem, and the Tyrannical spray. Now, both of these blueprints are pretty cool, I think, but again, weapons that I don't primarily use. I would have loved to have this Origin 12 variant whenever I was still going for Damascus and trying to get this gold, because it's basically the loadout that you'd want to run on it of the no stock, the stipple grip tape, the 25 round drum magazine, and the 5 milliwatt laser, and it looks awesome. But other than that, they're kind of just there. Up to you, of course, if you find this at all worth the cash. But then the final bundle is that of the Octopus Garden for 1,000 COD points. You end up getting the RIP or RIP Current for the EBR 14, the Seabed Head sticker, and the Inky Business emblem. Now, I'll be honest with you. I think that this camo on the EBR is awesome. It looks like a purple Damascus and is very similar to how Damascus looks on weapons, but I'm one, not an EBR person, and two, since we can't transfer this to another weapon, I don't know if it's entirely worth it. Like, I kind of hope that there's going to be a future bundle with the same pattern like we've seen with some of the XRK weapons and that all white and matte black finish, but on a weapon that I'd actually use. But it's there, and it's definitely a cooler one, I think, but is going to round out these shop updates for you. Now, in terms of other things elsewhere, in terms of a buyable content, they are currently running a tier sale. It's not really my thing that I really care too much about, but it's a discounted price on tiers if you do wish to buy tiers. But I think especially with everybody being at home currently and still so much time left in the season, I don't think that this is truly necessary at the moment, but it is there for you guys if you're interested. And rounding out the update today, that we don't have any specific patch notes just yet for this, and I don't think that we'll get any. One thing though that somebody did tweet me and let me know about was that apparently the game battles exploit for where you could create a blueprint and then take it over into MP or into Warzone if you didn't have that weapon entirely ranked up, that's apparently been patched out. I never really read into how you do it, so I firsthand don't have the ability to confirm nor deny that, but that is something you may notice as well that was changed with this update. But for our first 2-week interval here into Season 3, it might not be exactly what you expect, but then when can you expect more? When can you see maybe that new gunfight map of IL-9, that new multiplayer map of Hard Hat, that new feature of Gunsmith Customs? Well, that is something that I think is going to be more so reserved for the mid-season update. Some of that has already been confirmed of the Gunsmith Customs coming as the mid-season update, but of course, definitely a new map, at least one of them. I'd say probably Hard Hat comes in the mid-season update, and then IL-9 maybe with 2 weeks left in the season, but that's where we're going to see some bigger stuff happen in terms of, firstly, a title update, and of course, some of those features being introduced. So to be able to throw in more on top of that, it makes a little bit more sense here with that. We've talked about how it's likely going to be then the 5th of May that comes out, but so far from what it looks like, seeing that we didn't have a bigger update today, and of course next week is that 3rd week in what would normally be a valley in that 2-week interval that we can talk about with Activision marketing, I wouldn't expect the next update of substantial value to be again until another 2 weeks now, the 1-month mark from when Season 3 actually launched, and when we could see some more stuff coming along with that. But outside of that, I'd also be curious to see what else comes of that in, say, the Warzone side of things, whether we get duos at that point or whether or not we see something larger. I mean, we did see that discussion recently that there are going to be events of some sort, so maybe we see some sort of update that gives us a cinematic, gives us a new alteration to the map in terms of a new POI. It's a lot of stuff that is still in question that could be coming, it's just we don't have enough information on it. One other thing also still in season is that of the what seemingly is the M249 SAW LMG as a new weapon listed as classified on the roadmap, and that could be something that makes its way in as the mid-season update. But again, I think that may be held off until the last couple of weeks of the season as well, kind of rounding in between the mid-season update and then also when Season 4 kicks off. Kind of how we had Ronin introduced here this week as a bridge period between Season 3's launch and also the mid-season update in 2 weeks' time. So while this week's update may not be what everybody was anticipating or maybe even hoping for, it did kind of show us the hand that Call of Duty has here in the near future. With not anything really being of substantial value added in as of today, that narrows down the amount of time that we have to see these other things added in and seemingly add more weight to each potential update that may be going forward. Again, sticking to our every 2-week interval in terms of the marketing and when things may release, I'm not really expecting anything in terms of this next upcoming week as well, mainly just another playlist update, but the week after that on the 5th of May being the main title update here for that. And then again, because we haven't seen as much introduced at this point, maybe even 2 weeks after that, before we round into Season 4, that's when we end up seeing another update as well. But that said, that is where we're going to wrap it up. That is kind of the update here at large and what you can still expect here for the coming days to weeks within Modern Warfare and Warzone. So I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Are you guys happy with this update? Disappointed a little bit? Anything in particular you really enjoyed? I know that I'm going to be playing some Cranked, so that's at least a positive in my books. I'm excited to jump into that as well. But other than that, that's where we're at here with it. So love to get your thoughts and feedback. Drop your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, there's the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. Well, that's that out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.